Good morning, Mr. Trump. Sir, my name is Fred John Boenig, and in 1959, I was the last case of polio in Hunterdon County. Since I was 9 months old, my left arm has been paralyzed. I'm 58 now, sir, and have accomplished much in my life despite my handicap. I like to say I'm handy-capable. I grew up in a military family. My grandfather was in the Navy, was blown off a ship during World War II and survived. My father, 20 years in the Air National Guard. My stepdad, a World War II vet. My brother, 82nd Airborne. In my family, we have 5 children, 4 of which have served. 2 of the boys went to Afghanistan, but only 1 came home alive. And after serving 2 tours in Afghanistan, he was awarded with a Purple Heart after being hit with a hand grenade. 1 son served in the Marines in South Korea, and our daughter is in the Naval Reserves. Our oldest son is a union roofer, and he's here at home and takes care of us. So, sir, you have insulted my family 3 times. The interesting part is I've stood within a foot of you 3 times. I sat directly in front of you, photographing you as you held up your Bible your mother gave you as a kid at the Voter Values Summit. I stood next to you on the Capitol lawn when you were getting ready to speak at the Ted Cruz rally. Sir, as I have pointed out, you feel you have some special right to insult my family. Sir, let me point out one thing. No one in over 100 years in your family has served in the military. When your nation called for its bravest to go fight for it, you received 4 deferments and got a note from your doctor saying you had bone spurs. How much did that cost? You can't remember which foot it was or the name of the doctor. Sir, I can name my doctor. I bet most people can name their family doctor. In an interview with the New York Times, Mr. Trump said the bone spurs had been temporary, a minor malady that had not had a meaningful impact on him. He said he had visited a doctor who provided him a letter for draft officials, who granted him the medical exemption. He could not remember the doctor's name. Now I'm supposed to believe you're brave enough to lead my children in battle? Sir, really? 3 of your children are still eligible to serve. Your 2 sons are, in your own words, excellent shots because they hunt endangered animals. Will you be asking them to enlist so they can go when you go to bomb the shit out of ISIS? They can fight alongside my kids while we clean up your mess. You might be thinking, well, Bill Clinton got deferments. Yes, sir, he did. And while he was president, he didn't start any wars. 1 soldier died in combat and 75 died in terrorist attacks. Carter, Reagan, Ford, H.W., G.W. Bush, Barack Obama all had more soldiers killed in combat than him. He has the least amount of soldiers killed in combat since Roosevelt, as far as I can research. You see, sir, I prefer doves with claws, like the Clintons, to a draft-dodging, fortunate son, clueless war hawk like you. You used our vets to advance your campaign narrative, but had to be shamed into paying up. You have yet to answer even one of the most basic questions on foreign policy, the Constitution, or our military with a factual answer. So, sir, as a Gold Star dad, I challenge you to show America you aren't the coward and fraud we have come to believe you are. In an open forum, show up exactly what your knowledge base is of ISIS, Boko Haram, name their leaders. Syria, Russia, China, Indonesia, Central America. Point out on a map the Middle East. Name them, and then their leaders for each country. Tell us the history of Afghanistan. Who is the current leader of the Taliban? The history of Iran? Explain the history of the Soviet Union. You see, sir, these are questions anyone running for president of the United States should know off the top of their head. I asked a lieutenant colonel one day that said she was meeting you later that day if she would ask you if you knew the name of the leader of ISIS. She said, no, I don't want to embarrass him. You see, sir, we all get you are woefully unprepared for the job of being responsible for our kids. And lastly, sir, I'd like to point out the only perk you get for being a Gold Star parent is you get to speak your mind and no one gets to trash you for it. That's it, sir. The only perk you get. Clearly, you missed that. And you certainly have shown you do not have what it takes to pay the price to earn that perk. 100 years and no Trump has served his country in the military. Thank you for your time, sir. Fred John Boenig, Gold Star Dad.